day. I am Miss Emmanuel Aminebe Progress. I'm from Edo State and I rep a beautiful, elegant and strong Edo young lady. Yeah, today we're actually going to be talking on two topics that are human trafficking and smuggling of migrants. I would like us to take things slow. We'll have to take it one by one. Human trafficking first and smuggling of migrants to be second. Now, under human trafficking, we are actually going to be looking at the consequences on an individual, the consequences that it has to pay on our nation, and what are the possible solutions to human trafficking in a country. So right now, I would like us to define the term human trafficking. As the word implies, human has to do with someone who is alive, and trafficking, moving from one country to another, it has to do with that, transporting and going through legal and illegal ways to move things. Now, human trafficking as a term is an act of recruiting, harboring, transporting, providing or obtaining a person for compelled labor or commercial sex through the use of force, fraud. Human trafficking is a way to exploit women and children, including men, for cheap labor and prostitution as an opportunity to help themselves out of poverty. Now, bringing this home, we'll actually check it and think, how can this be of any sense? As a young Nigerian, as a woman, as a child, how frustrated can you be to actually think that you moving from your country to another country? First of all, you have to know this is illegal. Your mind should have told you that this thing, it's not going to end well. You're supposed to know that. So for you to try to smuggle yourself or go under the fact that they want to traffic you from Nigeria to another country, you should actually think it and know what you're actually risking to get yourself out of poverty. Yeah, so basically, human trafficking didn't start now. It has started since. And those days, it is actually called slave trade, where you actually some trafficker. Now, there are also physical traumas, physical injuries, rape, beating, and subjected to abuse for a very long time. They might have sexual transmitted diseases or infection, diabetes, victims of hard labor, infections, respiratory problems, injuries, and so on and so forth. This may actually happen to you or to those persons who are actually gone out of the country and are rescued from the hand of traffickers. Now, at this point in time, they can also face difficulties in being independent. Even after they've been rescued, organizations like NAPTIV grant them another new life to start afresh. They can also not be so independent in living alone because of things that they've gone through while they were actually in that line of death. Now, there are other things like they can be isolated from friends. Isolation, family will actually say they don't need you because you left them, or because you're actually a migrant, or you're actually being trafficked, or you're now something else. Maybe you went out there and you're now a smoker, you've smoked and you have no use to the family, you're now insane, and they brought you back to Nigeria. Families will disassociate themselves from you. And it's actually some points that we still need to look into as we go further on this subject. Now, what are the effects of human trafficking in the country as a country? We're not talking about only Nigeria, we're talking about other countries like Ghana, other West African countries that are actually going through this kind of things. Yeah. Now, the first thing is that it puts the country in a bad light. It creates the impression that the nation is incapable of providing for her citizens, especially in terms of employment and social welfare. Another point is that it dents the image of the country, as many young prostitutes of Nigerian origin are allegedly often spotted at sex parlors and streets of some European countries. Now, they might tend to regard that country of not being worthy to actually come into stuff like that. Now, it exposes Nigerian youth to the danger of being used as guinea pigs for scientific and medical researches in foreign countries. Why not stay in your country and make use of your life than going out of the country and you end up turning into guinea pigs? Maybe they will use your heart transplant without your consent, your heart, your liver. Your life will just be wasted. Why wanting to undergo such pain? Why? Now, we are going to be talking of possible solutions of human trafficking. Yeah, from what we've seen and what we've heard, what are those solutions to trafficking? I think the first thing is actually creating awareness, public awareness. It should also be in educational aspect, scheme of works in schools from tertiary to primary to secondary. Even at their little age, you should actually try to inculcate in them that trafficking is a very bad thing to do. It should not even dwell in your mind to travel. That's one thing. Create awareness. It should be everywhere. Say no to human trafficking. And we also would like to say that social security policies, which is a social security policy, should be put in place to enhance their access to education by providing them with scholarship. The policy should also aim at effort to improve the low status of women, particularly at dispelling the economic advantages they face. Most of Nigeria, females in Nigeria are not always wanted to handle vital positions in the country. I think those rules should be abolished. It should actually be things that women can actually stand up and have a voice, a say in the country matters. Yeah, and they actually say that those that are victims of human traffickers, they should actually provide education, make them understand, give them scholarship. Those that are educated, they should have scholarship, and those that are not educated, they should give them skills, like empower them. Those that are possible shoemaking, hairdressing, styling, makeuping, and catering, decoration, and stuff like that. Empower them, inculcate them that life is at their past. They should move on to their present life. Now, there's also a need for social services and develop facilities for the reception, protection, and reintegration of trafficked persons. Like this place is actually like social services should actually help aid in victims. Help them. They should have protections. Maybe those that spilled the bucket or spilled whatever secret they had to hide and they were caught, they should actually protect them from such persons in order to prevent death, even when you've been rescued. Yeah. Now, it should make sure that organizations like NAP in legal way. You are smuggling, your life is at risk. Guys, your life is at risk. Those that are smuggling, your life, smugglers, what is happening? We need to stop this act. It's not fair. You just smuggle individuals from where they are, and those migrants that want to be smuggled. What were you thinking? Why? What were you thinking? Now we'll move down to what are those effects, the consequences that smuggling of migrants will actually have on an individual. The first thing we have to look on smuggling of migrants is loss of life. In this case, death is inevitable at this point in time. Because when you check so many things, the road is bad. There's so many things on the way. Okay, when you come to think of immigration officers, custom officers, the police, the military men, and so on and so forth on the way, on each checkpoint, on every border, you still want to take that risk of smuggling. Your life is at stake. And in this time of whereby you are actually trying to smuggle yourself from, I heard sometimes it takes you a month to actually get to your destination. Why suffer yourself? Why make things difficult for your life when there are so many ways of making money in Nigeria? So many ways of making this money in Nigeria, rather than traveling out of the country where you actually be enslaved or deported back after the struggle of trying to smuggle yourself from a country to another country, and at the end of the day you are deported back. How will you feel? It's not a nice story to tell. How will you feel? Now, in this whole drama, there must actually be injury, depression, meeting different situations that you cannot even bear to encounter. But you have to face them. You will be so exhausted. Thirst is another victim. It's another thing that will actually harm your mindset, your time, your life. You just waste your time out there. Waste of time is another factor. Cause actually die on the way. You won't even get a befitting burial from your family members. Last of all, they'll just throw you out when you're dead. Yeah, youths, please take note. It's actually something worse to do. Smuggling, trying to do that, or involving it, or engaging in that kind of thing. It's very poor and it's a very bad thing. Now, we'll actually still like to check on the effect of smuggling of migrants in a country. What it has to do, what role it has to play, the effect it has on that country. What, first of all, that country is losing its population. You're leaving your country to another country. Why? We need you in our population. The instability of the country is going down, making them look like the country is actually not helping your lives. Meanwhile, whatever you have to do is in you. Bring out the best in yourself. Show us what you've got. I see no reasons why we are trying to be what we are not. God brought you to Nigeria. Stay in Nigeria. When it's time for you to travel, go out. There's actually going to be way for you to leave that country if you think it's actually the best way to make your own money. Now, what are the solutions to smuggling? Yeah, solutions of smuggling in migrants and all that. Those are some solutions. I think the government should provide greener pastures that youth can earn their living. Yeah, obviously most youth are like, we are graduates and there's no job. We are this. I went to school and there's no work. If you don't know somebody, you can't go anywhere. You're an electrical engineer. Start with something. Government provide works for you. What did you graduate with? Are you a first class holder? So come, bring it out. Did you come up with distinctions and you were not given an opportunity to actually show what you've got inside? Then use what you've learned in school to actually bring out the best in your life. Bring out the best in you. Government should provide greener pastures for youth in the sense that opportunities, agricultural vendors, organizations, NGOs, to actually create the opportunity for youth to actually go and bring out the best in themselves. Now, all agencies present at the border should stop bribery from smugglers, and there should be proper check on goods and stuff that are imported, because some migrants will actually be inside of the car, inside so many things, maybe drums of petrol and all that. You actually stay there and you might die. So for this to go on, most of the solutions is that those like immigration officers, customs that at the borders, checkpoints and all that, try to check what's going on there. Don't let them go out like that. Now, another thing is that the cost of traveling out or abroad should be cheap and affordable to prevent smuggling. It should be cheap. They should try to deflate the price so that individuals can travel out to their various countries that they want to go in. Now, I hope with this point of mine, we have actually tried to make you understand the consequences of human trafficking and smuggling of migrants into the country, what it has on the country, and possible solutions to it. Basically, as youths, you have the best in you. Bring out the best. And first of Nigeria universities and the get rich quick syndrome on youth would actually come to an end. Bring out the best, bring out what you have, and we are actually going to bring that, to bring the best in you. If you have talent, your characters, whatever you have, bring them out. Let's make use of it. Thank you.